Do you remember the days when a release date for a game was actually the release date? A lot of developers these days seem to be bundling in early access along with either a pre-order or typically a pre-order of a higher tier deluxe version of a game. Seems to me that the only real value that these deluxe versions give you is that early access to the game. Now, they do give you some cosmetics that may be useful for you. Now, would you pay the extra price if they only gave you those extras and did not give you the early access? These developers are feeding on the FOMO that players will get by having other players or other friends play these games before they do. And because of that, they end up buying the higher tier version of the game, which sometimes costs $10 more and sometimes costs as much as $40 more just to play the game a few days early. If you're spoiler sensitive, then this could be even a bigger thing for you, as you can very easily run into spoilers online if you don't participate in the early access. I argue that most gamers would not be buying these higher tier versions or even pre-ordering if they did not come with that extra couple days of early access, which to me just seems like a predatory practice from the developers to get people to buy the higher tier versions with minimal extra value. While for single player experiences, this might not be that big of a deal, you just wait for the game to actually come out and get the regular version. For a competitive game, this could actually be a huge difference. If you get the game 3 days, 4 days, 5 days early, you could actually end up with a decent competitive advantage versus someone who waited till the actual release date. So with all that being said, whatever happened to the release date being the actual release date for a game? Hopefully you have all gotten the memo to not pre-order a game until you see if the game is actually good by looking at reviews. Last thing you want to do is get burnt by a game that is unplayable or just pure garbage. However, at least with the early release dates, you usually get reviews prior to the early release being active. But that's not always the case. So you should always make sure to check reviews before getting the game, even if you have to fight that sense of FOMO. Now here I'm going to take a look at a couple games that came out in 2023 with you that had early access of some sort bundled into a pre-order of the game. As we go through this list, I want you to think if you would have bought the higher tier version of this game or pre-ordered it if it did not come with the early access. First game we'll look at here is Diablo IV. So with the standard edition, it costs $69.99, deluxe $89.99, and the ultimate edition $99.99. With the deluxe edition and the ultimate edition, you get up to 4 days early of access to Diablo IV. You also get a mount and a battle pass unlock. So for an extra $20 and a pre-order, you're getting 2 mounts and a battle pass unlock. For $30 more, you're getting 2 mounts and an accelerated season battle pass, as well as an emote. Is that worth it? Next, we'll look at Starfield. The standard edition for Starfield was at $69.99. The premium edition was $99.99. The premium edition upgrade cost an additional $34.99. And then the Constellation edition was $299.99. With the premium edition, you get the game 5 days early, as well as a first story expansion, a Constellation skin pack, and access to digital extras with a soundtrack and art book. I won't really talk about the other 2 versions here, but so with the premium edition, you really are just getting this premium content for $30 extra of an expansion, skin pack, and a soundtrack and art book. That might be worth it for you, but without this 5 days early access, would you have bought the premium edition is the question. Next game we'll look at here is Hogwarts Legacy. With Hogwarts Legacy, with the pre-order of the deluxe edition, you received the Dark Arts pack, the Onyx Hippogriff mount, the Dark Arts Garrison hat, and 72 hours early access. The Dark Arts pack does have a Thestral mount, a Dark Arts cosmetic set, and a Dark Arts battle arena. In this case, those extra cosmetics only cost you $10 extra, but without that 72 early access, would you have bought the deluxe edition? Next game we'll look at here is Madden 24. So the Madden 24 regular version costs $69.99 versus the deluxe edition, which costs $99.99. If you pre-order, which you shouldn't do anyway, the thing you get with the deluxe version versus the regular version is 3 days early access and 4,600 Madden points. If you are someone who plays a lot of Ultimate Team or uses Madden points frequently and don't mind buying them, this might actually be a decent deal, but would you have gotten this if you did not get that 3 days early access? With this game in particular, it can be somewhat of a competitive game So getting that game 3 days early could give you a decent competitive advantage versus not getting it 3 days early. Next game we'll look at here is Mortal Kombat 1, which just came out recently. So with the standard edition would have been $69.99. The premium edition was $109.99. And then the collector's edition is $249.99. Now with the premium edition, you got a whole week early access to the game and a week of early access to DLC characters. You also got a combat pack, which includes 6 playable characters, 5 new cameo characters, and a Jean-Claude Van Damme skin for Johnny Cage. So a bunch of skins. In addition to that, you got 1,250 dragon crystals, which is the in-game currency. I haven't played the game, so I don't know how much those are worth, but I would not pay $40 extra just to get some crystals and some skins. Next, let's look at Payday 3. Payday 3 came out not too long ago, and the servers on the day that the early access started were a complete mess. Now, I haven't played this game, but if you look here, the standard edition is $39.99, the silver edition is $69.99, and the gold edition is $89.99. So for $69.99, you get some skins, the special bonus content. You get to play the game 3 days early, and you get their season pass for 6 months. So for $30 extra, you get skins, season pass, and a early play access, which didn't even work because the servers were such crap on the day that the game launched. Imagine if you paid $30 extra to play this game early and you didn't even get to play it early because they could not handle the traffic that the game produced. Next game we'll look at here is Modern Warfare 3, which hasn't come out yet. The standard version for this game costs $69.99 and the Vault Edition costs $99.99. With this game, if you pre-ordered, you get early access to the open beta that you pay to get early access to, which was also a thing in a couple games before. If you pre-order this game, you get to play the campaign up to a week early. And then for the Vault Edition, you get the Nemesis Operator Pack, 2 weapon vaults, plus the Black Cell and 30 additional tier skips, which is going to be the season pass for this game. So you're paying $30 extra for some skins and an accelerated battle pass. Interesting about this game is that you're not actually paying extra to play the game online early. You're just getting to be able to play the campaign a week early if you buy the game, whether it's the $69.99 version or the $99.99 version. So this one's not quite as predatory as the other ones, other than the fact that you're paying $30 for some skins and an accelerated battle pass. Having looked at these games and what you actually get if you don't include the early access to the games, what do you guys think? I think it's super predatory and they are completely feeding on the FOMO that players get when they see other players playing it. And this is the trend lately. They know that players will not pre-order a game unless they actually get something for it because they've been burned so many times on games in the past. So now they give you things to make you want to buy the game early just so you can play it early. And they don't even make the cosmetics and the skins worth it for you. In my opinion, the release date should be the release date. And if I'm going to buy the deluxe version or the collector's edition, it should be because those versions give me actual extra value enough to justify the extra money that it's going to cost to buy those versions. It should not be because I get to play the game a couple of days early. What are your guys' thoughts? Leave them down in the comments down below. And if you like this video, consider subscribing.